Sportsmanship, leadership, inspire, determination, excitement. Welcome to the Slide Podcast. Your hosts, Jen and Aaron, are on deck and ready to introduce the current stars of Little League Baseball. So grab your favorite sports drink, fasten your chin strap, and get ready to go inside the chalk lines of our Little League fields. Here are your hosts, Coach Jen and Coach Aaron.
So Jen, we're going to do something different. You want to start us off? I'm going to throw you a curveball right in the middle of the Slide Podcast.
I can do it. I work best under pressure.
All right, Jen, start us off.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Slide Podcast. We're recording live tonight from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Thanks for joining us. I am joined with my host, Coach Aaron. How you doing, Coach Aaron? I am
doing good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing so well. It's nice to see you back. We just talked a couple of days ago, so I feel like we just saw each other.
I know.
What's been going on in your world?
Our Little League baseball practice started back this week. So now we've got, full-time job, want to be a full-time podcaster, and now baseball coach. And then at some point in time, I have to sleep and everything else. So it's kind of chaotic right now. But you know what? At least we got the bananas episode done.
That was fun.
And that was super stressful for me because it was like I've been anticipating that episode since we recorded the first episode. So that was that bucket list show that I wanted to get done. And so I think it went great. So by the time everyone's hearing this, that episode will have already aired. So hopefully everyone enjoyed listening. And that was our first YouTube video that we're going to put up as an episode as well. So
speaking of bucket lists, I think that was a bucket list check off for Grayson as well.
Oh, I'm sure. He called me afterwards and was so excited and thanked me so much for letting him be on the show. And honestly, I feel like he was the true host of that show. He took the reins and ran. So
we've both been watching the Little League World Series. So last night there was a local artist at a Wings Etc. near us. So we went out to watch him sing a little bit, and the dinner beforehand inside, we were watching some of the Little League World Series. It was New England versus, it was Southeast was what their jerseys said, but on where it showed the score and stuff in the top left-hand corner, it said Tennessee. So I'm not sure how they name them or whatever. Maybe that's where they practice or something. But there was one play that stood out to me, and it was awesome to see all the kids chest bumping stuff afterwards. So
yeah.
There was a line drive hit to center field, and this kid made a diving catch, beautiful form. His hat flew off as he was catching the ball. It was gorgeous. And it was awesome to see, all the camaraderie afterwards. But what was funny was he got up to get the congratulations from his teammates, and his hat had flown off, like I said. So he takes his long blonde mullet and throws it back and puts his hat back on and assumes the position. And, a couple of replays after that da-na-na, da-na-na. So that's probably on ESPN today. That was awesome.
Mullets are making a comeback.
They are. We tried it with my 9-year-old, and he's got this cowlick on the back of his hairline, and we just couldn't make it happen. So we tried.
I was blessed with cowlicks in the front and in the back and everywhere. So, but yeah, I think we have Morgan Wallen to blame for that one. So
yep, he started it.
If he's listening to the show, Morgan, we blame you for the mullet comeback. So speaking of Little League World Series, we talked about it on last episode. Easton Oliverson was the kid from the Utah Snow Canyon Little League team that fell off his bunk bed and he fractured his skull. And so, yeah, it was pretty crazy. We talked about he got airlifted. He was in ICU. And did watch some videos today, and he's taking steps on his own, or actually with help right now. He was able to feed himself and drink. He's on a road to recovery, but he can still use a ton of prayers and support from everyone out there. So keep fighting, Easton. We got you, buddy. Last couple of things I wanted to mention, and we're going to get our guest in here. We haven't even mentioned our guest yet, but we'll keep it a surprise. We'll just make them go read the title again. So make sure, I know fall season's starting for everyone right now. And if you're needing to purchase bats, gloves, catching equipment, whatever the case may be, go to guardianbaseball.com and use the promo code Slide Podcast, and that'll save you 10%. So, and we've got a few more partnerships coming soon. So I think I got some information from Warstick and maybe a few more coming. So stay tuned and make sure you're using those promo codes. And the last thing that I want to mention is we're now comfortable and stable enough to where we're looking for sponsors. And so if you want to advertise on our show and want to put your name out there, whether it's a baseball training academy, a local business, whatever the case may be, we want to make sure that we give and spread. I don't know actually what to say that. We want spread the love, I guess we want to say. So spread the love and use our Slide podcast as a way of advertising because, Jen, we talked about it like Dura Edge was on the show. And, normally they don't have an avenue to really advertise and reach and touch coaches and players and parents and who knows, major league players and scouts that hopefully we're talking to right now. So we want to give those companies a chance and an opportunity to advertise and sell their products. So awesome. Well, we will be right back with our guests on the Slide podcast. So Jen and I are back, and we welcome Andy from GameMill, who is bringing us Little League World Series, the video game, back for 2022. Thank you, Andy, for coming on with us. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I have to go back. I remember with the original Nintendo, I was playing, I think it was RBI Baseball and Major League Baseball, and I'm going to tell you, my favorite was Baseball Stars. And so I grew up just playing video games and playing baseball, and I used to keep my own stats. I'm over the top sometimes, but dude, now I get to talk about a video game release with you. So tell us about a little bit like the history of the game, and like this is an anniversary series too, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, it's been 10 years since the last Little League World Series baseball game was brought to you on console. This is the 2022 Little League World Series baseball game. It's on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. So it's been 10 years since the last official Little League baseball game has been out in the market on console and PC. I actually was part of the one 10 years ago as well when Activision brought it out. So it was a little bit of a passion project for me. I had already had relationships with Little League and the team over there. And as I moved over here to GameMill about 8-9 years ago from Activision, it's always been kind of a passion project for me to try to get the team to say, hey, let's do another game. Let's do another game. And it just happened to be about 2 years ago, we embarked on a conversation with Little League again. Some of the same contacts were still there at the corporate office in Williamsport. So was able to kind of continue conversations with them. We, like I said, about 2 years ago, we started development with a team based in South America called Iguana Bee. We'd worked with them on some other projects. They had a good feel for baseball. They were kind of an up and coming developer for us as a team, and it just worked out. We had conversations going, was able to get a licensing deal with the Little League team, and they really just let us go to town with it. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll have to say I've watched the videos on YouTube. I went to your website, and then my oldest son last night got a chance to play it. And he's 20, but he's still very much a kid. I love you, Jacob. But he called me last night just raving about it. Like he was playing it last night and we got done with baseball practice. And so as I called him, he's like yelling and telling me how much he loved it. But he's like mad because these kids keep getting him out. So I was like, hey, dude, you got to get better. But he said the gameplay was amazing. So
yeah, no, thank you for that. I mean, we really tried to focus on obviously making a baseball game that has all the Little League rules and regulations. We've gone out and, we're able to go out to Williamsport and really replicate Lomity Stadium. That's one of the iconic fields there in Williamsport. You also have Volunteer Stadium. So we got all the measurements, obviously from home to first, from home to the pitcher's mound, home to the outfield. We got every little detail, the fence, the grass field in the background, headquarters at the top of the field. So we got everything perfectly aligned because that is an iconic location and field. And then we were able to build out fields that were more generic, but were akin to the different regions, whether it was out in the Northwest. We captured some of the international locations as well, Mexico and the Caribbean as well. So a lot of those teams come here. So we want to make sure that we got a wide breadth of variety. And we wanted to stay true to the game of baseball, but at the same time, we weren't looking to make the show. We weren't looking to make a simulation game. We were looking to make a game that was true to the sport, but also a term we use in the industry is gamify. We wanted to make sure that it reached out to players and gamers that weren't necessarily baseball fans, but we could bring them into the baseball world because we had some of these gamifications. We had upgrades where there's a super ability that you can activate and the bat blows up like one of those big wiffle ball bats that you used to play with, those big ones. So, and we do these things called QTEs, which are quick time events. So if there's a close play at first, or if you're trying to rob a home run, or you're trying to steal a base, there's an activation where there's a button combo that if you get the button combo right, you're safe, or you rob the home run, or you slide in, under a steal or stuff like that. So little things like that, we wanted to make it so there was still gamification. It felt like a game. It didn't feel too in the weeds on the analytics of baseball, which we have a little taste of that. We just didn't go so deep into it. We want to make sure we broaden the audience so kids could pick up and play and parents could play with them as well.
Yeah, well, coming from an early childhood where I played baseball, and it was between baseball and Tecmo Bowl. So the mini baseball games and then Tecmo Bowl, just going back and watching the videos. And like I had my son even send me pictures last night and of different things that he was doing on the screen and how cool it was. So, and it looks like it's truly a family game. And I can see maybe we need to talk about, we could do maybe like some Little League baseball game tournaments or something around the country and see how that plays out. I think that would be super cool. But no, I think it's great. Jen, do you play games?
No. So I was just going to say, like, the last time I think I played a baseball game on, video game was the Nintendo that we talked about with the bananas the other night. What was it called? Just the Nintendo, the regular
Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball, like 1989, whatever that was, is probably the last one that I played. But like I said, I have a young son who likes to get on and play and stuff. So I've seen Minecraft and, all the animations.
These kids don't run around with square heads.
Thank you.
So,
good. I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
I've watched some of the YouTube videos and the graphics and stuff seem really, really cool.
Yeah. The colors are awesome. Like the colors are what grabs your attention.
They're super bright.
Yeah. So when you're designing a game like this and you partner with Little League, what kind of requirements and what's that partnership look like with you guys? Do they set you a bunch of rules and you guys have to abide by certain things, or how does that work?
Yeah. So they've got a style guide that obviously keeps us in the boundaries in terms of, like I said, like the field. They do provide their logo, designs of the uniforms. We took some liberties with the designs of uniforms just because we wanted, players to experiment with different colors, long pants, short pants. We have all sorts of great colors. We've got a lot of just fun, mascots, team names. We keep it very generic, but we also keep it, there's hundreds of different customizations that you can do throughout the game. So we wanted to make sure that we kept it inviting to everybody. We didn't, that was a big part of it. And they gave us that creative freedom and liberty to be able to do that, because I think it was important for them as an organization is, again, they've got their 2 million Little League players per year, but they wanted to open that net up a little bit more. So that's why we went with a style that felt almost cartoony, but it was also very akin to video games. It was very appealing. It was very approachable. It was fun. So they were totally hands off and told us, guys, go have fun with this. So we appreciated that. We did work with Easton. Easton, if you play the game, there is an Easton bat in the game. So there's little touches of authenticity in there that a fan will see and really appreciate. So other than just, they provided us the rules, there's no leading off. You can only go after the ball across the plate. Some of those.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we made sure that it was true to Little League. Again, all the bases, everything from a distance perspective is all in proportion. So, like I said, little touches of rules that we have in there, but we're not so rule focused that you get hung up in that part of the game.
Well, I know, I've watched the MLB show and I've watched some of my Little Leaguers play it, and it looks so complex. And I'm old school. I'm up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, A, B, like we all know that one, but I'm used to just those controllers. And like when I'm looking at like everything going on in the MLB show, it's just so like, there's so many things that you have to do. And then I'm talking to my son last night and he's like, man, it's so easy to play this. And because I was asking him, because if it's so complex, I don't want to play it. But based on how it looks and how he described it, and you're hitting the triangle to throw it to second, you're hitting circle to throw it to first. I mean, like that's really cool and like intuitive for kids to learn, like directional and easy gameplay, I guess I can say.
When you were designing it, were you thinking like, what would your demographic be? Is it more the Little League type age group, or were you thinking a little broader than that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question and really a great topic. I mean, we obviously, our target is sort of that 8 to 12 demographic, with the secondary being sports fans, sports enthusiasts. But we did want it to be basic. To your point, you do play some of the MLB The Show or even other sports games like Madden. They have gotten somewhat, it's a little bit complicated. You really have to invest your time to understand the intricacies of the control mechanics. So we did a lot of testing, in terms of making sure that it was still easy and basic. But there, like I said, there are some QTE, the quick time event moments, where there is some more complicated button combinations, but sort of that's a bonus. And you do have an option in the game just to play what we call baseball kind of basic mode. And then there's an arcade mode where some of those activities are activated. But to your point, you're right. It's really easy. It's push A to swing. It's you push the direction. We got our buttons are basically the buttons of the diamond. So the bottom button, X is home plate. B is first base. Y is second base. And so it's designed like the diamond itself. So you intuitively, okay, if I'm going to throw to first, I want to hit that B button that's over to the right, that's towards first base. So little things like that. And then there's, of course, if you want to bunt, there's, you hit the bumpers that makes your players square around and bunt. So yeah, there are little things, but for the most part, yeah, we tested it and we kept it pretty basic. You X to swing. And then when you pitch, it tells you what, like, hey, I want to throw a four-seam fastball. I want to throw a curveball. I want to throw a slider. I want to throw a changeup. It shows you what buttons to push. Then it takes you to a meter that you just, X and X, so you hit the meter. And then if you're hitting it perfectly, then you're executing your pitch to perfect. If you're not, then it goes a little haywire.
Oh, I love that. I love those meters. I've always been good at those. So Andy, what's your favorite game of all time?
My favorite game of all time.
You sound like you've been in the gaming industry for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a pretty loaded question. I probably should say one of our games, but honestly, one of my favorite games of all time that I put a ton of time in when it came out was Tiger Woods PGA Golf, Tour Golf. That one, just because... Yeah, I don't know, because that was a game I played all the time. The other one would probably be Call of Duty.
Okay, yeah. I haven't really ever got into the Call of Duty, and I guess I haven't played games seriously, in probably 20 years. So I guess, and honestly, I haven't seen a game, and not to sound corny because we're talking to you, but like seriously, like I want to go play this game. Like I got a 7-year-old.
I do too.
Yeah.
I want to play it. Yeah.
So, but no, I like most of the games just overload my brain. There's so much detail into certain things. And like looking at this game, it just seems fun. It looks like a game that I'd put it. Now, how many players can you play at one time?
So you can play up to 4 players. It's local co-op play. The beauty of this game is you have an opportunity. You can go in there. You can play a tournament, right? If you really want to invest some time, you can go through a tournament, you go through the bracket system, you go through the pools, and you play a tournament, and there, you invest time. You can also just jump in and do a quick play. You just want to go in, you want to play a quick game, you can do that. There's an exhibition mode as well. That's if you want to go in there and play 4-player. Again, locally, even if you want to play 2-player, if you want to just play with you and your son, you're batting, he's pitching, you can go in there and do that. Then there's a championship mode. There's play for everybody.
Yeah. Is there any Easter eggs or anything hidden in the game that our listeners should know about?
No, we don't have any Easter eggs, but there's a ton of unlockables. And what's kind of cool about this, and I don't know how familiar you are with Williamsport and how they set up, they have the Grove. The Grove is where the kids stay. It's where they sleep at night. They have sort of a playroom. They have a pool. And that's kind of where they hang out. That's where they meet other people from the team. So we have in kind of our menu, in our main menu, we have the Grove. You can go in there. So as you collect things, you have a trophy room. As you win things, you have a trophy room. We also have a sticker book, which is kind of cool. As you play and as you a home run or you win a game or you perform a QTE, you unlock these cards. And these cards give you ability. The abilities can be anywhere from I can run faster, I can throw more accurate, things like that. So you can collect these cards or these stickers, I should say. So Little League's huge with pins.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to say, pin exchanges.
Yeah. So this is kind of our equivalent of pins is using stickers. And so you have your own sticker book and you can collect these stickers and then you can activate these stickers for abilities in the games and things like that. So there is some depth. There is stats. I don't think we go as far as like your on base percentage,
percentage,
but we have, stuff like that. We don't get into the cybermetrics as much in our game, but certainly there is a level of statistics that you can have in there. Like I said, you can build your own teams the way that you want them. So there is a level of depth in there that I think is really cool. So it's not Easter eggs, but you can certainly unlock abilities, stickers. We also have a card book as well. So you can have your own player's card, like a deck card kind of thing.
So I'm representing the naive moms. Okay. I don't know as much about gaming. So for this specific game, because back when you turn the Nintendo off, you lose all of your stuff. So here, like you don't lose your record and your wins and your losses, like all your stats stay with you and you can pick up the game where you left off.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. You save all that. And like I said, the Grove is where you find all those things that you saved. That's your little own hub, the Grove, and you're going to find all your stuff's going to stay in there.
And when you say that you play with your friends, like you don't have to be in the same room.
Yeah, so you do. So when we say local co-op, we made sure, especially with kids games, I mean, we're real careful about not sending kids to lobbies where they're playing with people they don't know. So we made a conscious decision to make sure that we were only making this a local co-op. So you have to be in the same room.
That's awesome. Because I know one of the concerns that we have, and Jen, I know we both talked about this, is just when your kids are playing some of those games, you don't really know who that person is on the other side that you're playing with online. And so like we restrict, our son, we don't let him do any of that because we don't know who's on the other side. And you got to be cautious of that, unfortunately, these days.
We just had a conversation with Colton about that just real quick. He got an Oculus. He saved his money and he bought himself an Oculus. And so he had it on and we could hear whoever it was that he was playing this game with. And we started listening and he's from the UK. He's got this heavy British accent. And we're like, he's playing with somebody in the UK. Do you know who this is? And he's like, no. What's his name? I don't know. Where's he from? I don't know. And it's like, so we had to have a little conversation with him about that. So it feels a little better.
Yeah, it's a real thing. I mean, there are safety measures in place, but yeah, we're targeting certainly this age group. We want to be safe.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, I'm excited. I'm ready to play. So my last question that I have to ask for you, Andy, is if you were playing baseball today, what would your walkout song be?
Breaking the Law.
Oh, Judas Priest.
Judas Priest, yeah.
That's it. I know it. All right. Well, we can keep talking now because we got all kind of stuff to talk about. This is a whole nother episode. No, I'm a big person when it comes to walkout songs. Do you guys have walkout songs on the Little League baseball game?
So, yes, we do. There is in the Grove, as we talked about, I was just looking at the other day. I'm like, I sure hope people recognize it. It's a boom box like we grew up with that we walked around with. It's a boom box. Kids might look at it and go, what is that? But oh, well, that'll be for mom and dad to explain to the kids that that's what we listen to our music on. But yes, there's a little boombox in there. So you can select a walkout song. You can select if there's background music that you want. It's all, for the most part, pretty generic music, but you can go in there and customize your playlist.
That's cool. Yeah, because it's becoming more and more popular with kids. And I think, now there's apps that's created for kids in Little League. And you may appreciate this, Andy, since you said Judas Priest. So my son's walkout song this season is going to be Pantera Walk. So
nice.
Yeah. Now, Jen, that may not mean anything to you, but it's
I think it's heavy metal.
Pop.
Is it heavy metal?
It is.
Okay.
It
All
is.
right.
Yeah,
now, his mom's not happy about it, but oh well, it motivates him. So
it's music, it's expression.
It is. Do you have kids that play ball, Andy?
I had one. I've got now a soon-to-be 18-year-old and a soon-to-be 16-year-old. And yes, my son, I coached all his Little League all the way up till he was 14. He's now a wrestler. So that's his go-to.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. What memories do you have? And I said earlier, last question I had for you, but now we just opened more can of worms. So what's those memories you remember from coaching Little League? What's the most memorable one you got?
Oh, gosh.
That's so probably
much. It is. It's so much. And I'll probably give you the cliche answer, but it's been around those kids. I mean, and it's funny is my son hangs out with all those same kids that he played baseball with today. That's still his friend group. But I think it was funny. A little bit of a story is, it's going and doing some of those tournaments. I think there's a ton of bonding that happens when you go and do those tournaments. But I remember we went to a tournament and I promised the boys if we won the tournament, I would host a Fortnite party at the house.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was not only they won, and it was the only tournament they won all year, but they won that one. So I knew motivating them with video games was a good start to getting them to go out there. But honestly, for me, it's the rewards was to see the improvement from day one till the last day of the year, and ultimately to get them to love the game of baseball.
That's it. I mean, I coach, Jen coach. Actually, you're the commish. We're going to start calling you the commish.
The commish.
Yeah, she's our local T-ball commissioner. So I think I just named her. I just gave her a nickname. But we both enjoy it. And I'm going to tell you, Little League today is a lot different than when I played. So it's a totally different beast. It is. And really, and I'll give you a little bit of just background on our show is we both coach. We see everything that goes on in the Little League world around us now. And we decided to put something together to celebrate kids and hopefully inspire coaches and parents to be on their best behavior. You should, if you really wanted to make this game authentic, there's got to be parents yelling in the stands. And, you got to have that travel ball dad that says, get my kid out of the outfield, put him in the infield. Maybe that's for another game, but.
I love it. To your point, that's the unlocks. But yeah, maybe,
I don't think anybody's going to unlock that one.
We do a Little League back sports baseball. I don't have my, I guess I might blur, but I have a picture. It's I've got the Sandlot picture up there with all the actors have signed it.
Oh, that's
sweet.
We need to do a Sandlot version of it. And maybe we can go a little bit risque, but yeah, I hear you. And where we coach, we got a great community where I coached in Prior Lake, Minnesota. And you may know Prior Lake from your time at Best Buy, but yeah, I mean, that's the number one thing is we can't interfere with the kids as coaches, as parents. You got to let them play the game.
That's right. I mean, and it takes the fun out of it. I mean, it really just sucks the energy and the life out of it when those kind of things happen. And I don't know if you're paying attention to what's going on right now in the Little League World Series, but, we had a kid roll out of his bunk bed and, fracture his skull. And that was part of what we were talking about before you guys hopped on is just how things can change so quickly. And that's so unfortunate. But the good news is, and I read today where Little League actually ripped all the bunk beds out of the buildings and actually put every bed down on the floor. So nobody has to worry about that kind of stuff going forward. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And glad that he's on the road to recovery and just one of those incidents, because believe me, I've fallen out of plenty of bunk beds as a kid.
I did too. That
explains a lot. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. That was probably really
that was for me, Andy, not for you.
Yeah. She doesn't know me well. She doesn't know me well enough.
That's right. Well, awesome. Hey, thank you very much for coming on the show. Thank you guys for finding us. I was super excited when we got the information and I sent it to Jen. And, at first, I'll be honest with you, Andy, I got the message and, with social media these days, you get so much garbage that comes in. And me being naive, sometimes I've clicked on things that I probably shouldn't have, but this was when I was like, man, this is super cool. And I didn't realize it was actually a console game at first. So I think when Tyler originally reached out, maybe like 2 months ago, I just thought it was an app. And then I started reading and I read, the major systems and consoles that it was going to be a part of. And I'm like, holy crap, this is a big deal. And it's released right during Little League World Series time. So like what perfect timing and a perfect show to come on.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, thanks for having us. Thanks for fielding the note. We launched it on Wednesday. We have Carl Ravitch. He's in the game as one of the voices. He's obviously the ESPN announcer. He announced the exclusive trailer on ESPN yesterday during the first game. So we're excited.
He was my Baseball Tonight announcer back when I was growing up. So he did a lot of the MLB games and stuff. So,
oh yeah, he is a baseball nut. It was great when I reached out to him and we talked baseball. We talked about the up and coming season. It was kind of fun. I got to kind of hear his thoughts on certain players and teams, and it was great.
It's kind of weird when you get that inside information, huh? It's
very inside. Yeah.
Like these people are real. Like they're just not on TV.
Yeah, it's not scripted. These guys actually know and really love the game.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. We've started, we've interacted with some players and stuff, and it's kind of surreal, when you start to hear some of that information. So very cool, man. Well, hey, thank you very much, Andy, for telling us about Little League World Series. I know I'm going to go play it. I'm going to post some pictures later on, hopefully where I'm playing it as well. But Jen, you'll have to come over and we'll have to play together. Maybe we'll post an episode where we're like challenging each other.
I think, I'm pretty sure I can beat you.
I got to get a new TV in my game room because I hit it with the Nintendo Switch controller and shattered the screen. So
was that a competitive moment?
No, I'm going to blame it on my dog because we were playing Wii Sports and my dog just so happened walked by me as I'm bowling. And I hit her head, bless her heart, with the controller. And you know what? I get on to my kids all the time about make sure you got your wristband on. Make sure you got that wristband on.
Yeah, and you didn't.
And guess what? I did not. And again, I worked for Best Buy for so many years and I dealt with this scenario so many times. And I was just like, oh my God, I have did it. I have destroyed my TV. So, but I got to get a new TV. But as soon as I do, it's going in the game room, Jen, and you're coming over and we're going to do it. So
the commish. All right.
That's right. Well, awesome. Hey, Andy, thank you again very much. And we'll keep you updated as to how our listeners are enjoying the game as well. So
awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all. For everyone else out there in Slide Land, that's what we're going to call it. Jen didn't like that one. So, and also,
I just wasn't prepared. I just wasn't prepared.
Seeing your face react to some of the things that I say sometimes is always hilarious. So, and now that we're recording video, people get to see that funny stuff. Yep. So awesome. All right, Andy, we'll talk to you soon, buddy. And everyone else, we'll catch you on the slide.
Thanks for listening to the Slide Podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. In the meantime, stay connected with Coach Jen and Aaron on Instagram at The Slide Podcast Show, on Facebook at The Slide Podcast, and the Facebook private group, The SLIDE Podcast. Until next time.